guys, how are we? All hope we're all doing well. Pickets for locks, and you know it. Don't forget to even hashtag it. Keep it bloody legal. So, as I said in the video the other day, I'm looking at getting into key cutting and doing a bit of key cutting at the Sunday markets and stuff like that. Since I've got a few key cutting machines and talking to a few people, nowhere in town or anywhere near where I live actually does the tubular keys. No one cuts them. So as I said, I went and bought one of the tubular key cutters. I got the 7.8mm one, and I've just ordered, or I've bought, I'm waiting for it. It's actually been posted, I'm waiting for it to arrive. The 7.5, so I have the two most common sizes here for tubular keys. So then I can actually cut tubular keys for people and start doing that. Found a little niche in the market that no one does around here, and people are actually asking about it, so why not do it? I think other people just don't do it because, you know, they make enough money doing all the other keys, let alone buying in just one piece of equipment just for one type of key, where the other machines can do multiple different types of keys. So anyway, found a little niche in the market, I'm going into it. And you all know my key cutting setup, I've shown you all before, but I'll take you through it again. If I can get this in the right spot. I've been reorganising, cleaning up the office. More tangled up here. As you can see, I've been reorganising. And my new sign, no stupid people beyond this point. I think some people need to read that. But here we go. You've all seen my key cutting setup. I'm trying to get this in the right spot. Let's move this up a bit. So you all know my key cutting setup. I have the vertical and the horizontal machines. I've got the laser cutter, you know, the 368A. I got the other one just here, horizontal key cutter, which, you know, I do all my house keys and some of the car keys, the wafer lock keys and everything. I do them all on this machine. This one's for the new slider lock, so I mainly use it for car keys and stuff like that. And of course the bench grinder, which has the deburring brush on it. So that's my portable key cutting setup. You've all seen it before. I take it, that all folds up, goes in the back of the ute. I can take it with me. This is the other ones that I was telling you about that I've just bought. I've got the Clom K747. I'm going to review these. I'm waiting for the key blanks to come in. So the tubular key cutter, it's all in there. I've also ordered that's 7.8. I've also bought the 7.5. Just over $100 for each one. So, you know, for that price, it's bloody worth it. I was looking at the hurdy-gurdy, but that's like $400 to get into Australia. Whereas that's $100, so it works out a bit better. But anyway, at the markets, doing all the key cutting, I've got all my key blanks, which all sit down the bottom here. You all know, you've all seen them in the box that's hidden down there. Not just all the blanks, I've got heaps more in storage. And I've just been shopping and bought some more. I've ordered some WC2s, some more the KS1s for quick sets, just ones that I need to stock up on that I don't have very many of that we use here. But doing the markets and stuff, all your equipment has to be tested and tagged, which the guys around here that do it could charge a freaking arm and a leg. And I mean, they charge quite a bit for testing and tagging around here. But at the same time, a lot of markets, sometimes you can't access power, especially if you go around to little flea markets that pop up with or the car boot markets. You know, you can't access power because there's no power there. So I was trying to work out a way that I could get away with using all my machines, still have electricity for them, not have to worry about testing and tagging them, you know, because that's got to be done every 6 months and it costs a freaking fortune every time you get it done around here. And how I could run power to them outside when I can't access power. So I did a bit of shopping, because you know me, I like spending nothing but lots of bloody money on stuff. So what I ended up doing was I went, and a while ago I actually bought an inverter. I'm going back 7 months ago, I actually bought an inverter. This is a 300 watt power inverter, 600 watt peak power. So for 0.3 seconds, or 3 seconds, it can run 600 watts, but then drops down to 300, which is more than enough because this machine here only runs 100 watts, 240 volt, the 110 volt, 100 watts. This one here, the Fu laser cutter, that runs at 180 watts, and the bench grinder is 150 watts. So all of them run under 300 watts. Now I picked this up for about $50, $60 from Audi. And I will do a full-on review, go through all this. But bought that to power each one. So the only downside to it is because it's only a 300 watt, I can only run one machine at a time. So if I want to cut a key, I have to plug the key cutting machine in, run that, cut the key, unplug that, plug in the bench grinder to deburr the key, then disconnect that. So I can only run one machine at a time rather than having them all going at once. But that's nothing. I mean, 2 seconds to change plugs over. But this is it here. So I've got it all out at the moment. So this is the inverter here. 10 amp, 250 volt AC. Not a bad little bloody inverter. I will go through this in a full review and tell you what I think about it. I have put it to the test and used it a bit, and she does work bloody well. But trying to work out how I can access power, and I thought, I'll run it off the ute, off the battery. It just means I got to start the ute up, and I'm like, it's just going to be a pain in the butt. So I ended up going out and buying a battery box. This is a Anko one battery box just here. So I ended up purchasing one of these for $60 from Kmart. Now if I can move this around and I'll point it down so I can actually bring it out in front of you. See me dirty cowboy boots. So I actually bought it. This actually, you know what? I'll put it on the table because of how big it is. It'll be easier to show you this. So let's go back up. Yeah, move this back around to the table, or the desk, I should say. Here we go. Make sure we're in view. And we'll move this around to the front so you can see. So, portable battery box. So I can actually run 12 volt stuff, plus I can use the inverter on this to actually power my key cutters. So I paid $60 for the box itself from Kmart. And it's actually not too bad. It comes with all your bells and whistles. You got two on the top here. These can be used to plug your solar panels in, so you can actually charge it via solar panels. You can pick up solar panels for this. It's a 160 watt solar panels to recharge your batteries in these for about 150 bucks. They also had the batteries for these for $150, but they didn't have any in stock. One store had two. I went in there, but they had actually been stolen. They hadn't updated their stuff. But anyway, I ended up buying the battery box just to protect everything, keep it all sealed, and it has everything on it that I need to be able to run the key machines. So you can turn the power on, and it even has little digital readout. So it's putting out 12.8 volts on it, and I've already tested all this, and it runs the machines bloody perfectly. So you got your waterproof covers on the back just here. You have a USB, I'll show you that in a second. Got positive and negative terminals on the front here, so I can actually just clip these on, undo these a little bit, like that. Clip them onto the front there, put the negative one on, and I can run power. With this inverter here, it's a 300 watt inverter, but you can only run up to 200 watts through the cigarette port. 300 watts you run off the alligator clip straight off the battery, just because the cabling wiring on it is thicker, so I can actually put it with more wattage. But you got all that on the back. Turn it around. you have the 2 ports, so you have USB, 5 volt 1 amp and 5 volt 2.1 amp USBs. You also have 12 volt cigarette port to be able to run 12 volt stuff off of that. So the box itself, you know, to protect the battery, keep everything all contained. $60, not a bad bloody deal from Kmart, especially when I was looking at other ones that had very similar. Some of them actually had less stuff on it and they wanted more for it, so you know, shop around, it's always best. And to power everything in there, because they didn't have the battery that I was after, I actually ended up buying it's all in here, a super heavy duty truck battery. So a massive truck battery that takes up the whole box, which ended up costing me $170 for the actual battery itself. So all up, you're looking at, with the price I paid for the inverter and everything else, look about $280, just under $300 to power my key cutting machines whilst out. And of course, you know, battery box helps protect it. I could run it straight off the battery, this battery, but battery box just keeps it all contained, safe. It also has, these have built-in fuses. The only ones that don't run fuses are these, but it's alright because I actually have the fuse that runs through the inverter. But to keep everything safe, keep everything secure, and making it look nice and neat, this is going to work bloody well to power both my key cutters, and it does the job bloody well. I've already put it to the test, running everything through. So, you know, go out, cut the keys at the markets. Once I'm finished, bring this back, plug it onto the battery charger that I have. I've got a digital car battery charger. It will charge it all, get it all ready to go for the next time. So, you know, when there's a way to be able to run power to be key cutters, I've found a way to do it that didn't cost too much and is quiet compared to running a generator. This is a lot bloody quieter. So I prefer this over a generator just because of size and moving and everything like that as well. But anyway, there we go. It's the new setup for the key cutting, which is going to work at the markets. And I'll plug all this in and I'll get it running. I'll run one of the machines just for a few seconds to show you how well it actually works. So I'll pause this and we'll get to it. Alright, so I've gone freehand with the camera for the moment. So as you can see, I've got everything plugged in, positive on the positive, negative on the negative, run through to the inverter. Got the key machine actually wired in or plugged in, goes all the way up to this one here. So you can turn the power on. I'll just double check. Yep, 12.8 volts. Turn the inverter on. So I've got green for power, there's no faults, and we can actually run the light and even the key cutting machine works bloody perfectly. And even under load when you put a key in, because I actually cut bump key using this setup yesterday, under load the machine still works bloody perfectly. So does the laser cutter and so does the bench grinder, so they all work, all running off this, and cut one key just smooth as anything. Works very, very well for this portable setup. So not too bad for a complete power unit to run my key machines for under $300. You cannot complain. She's just awesome. The other good thing is when I go away camping, I can take this with me to run electronics that I need to and stuff like that as well. But for a 100% portable unit, this thing works bloody well. So that's what I've been working on, and as I said, reorganising the office. So I've got the desk set up, all my lights, and fixing up and reorganising all of this. Move this out of the way. yeah, some people need to follow that bloody sign. And key stuff. I got, this is all for the key cutting and everything. Got me car battery charger, digital one. These are more I've got to review coming up. Some magnifying and lots more key blanks in there and everything else. So I've got a lot of stuff on the go coming up. So stay tuned because it's going to be bloody awesome. So let's go over here. I'll hold the camera for a second. So as always follow the codes, keep Locksport legal. You know it, don't do anything bloody stupid. Don't forget to come and join us on Discord, the Extraordinary League of Pickers. There's a link in the description down below. Don't forget you get some hands on some Doubt merch. It's available at Teespring. There's a link down below as well. Don't forget, if you're looking for great equipment at very affordable prices, don't forget to check out locksmithtoolbox.com. Great Australian company, and I think I get this right. Great Australian company, and as you know, that's where I get most of my lockpicking equipment from. Don't forget, if you want to get in contact me through any of the social medias. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where I put up post photos, what's going on in the background, and all the fun stuff that happens around here pretty much. And yeah, if you like what you see, don't forget to give a thumbs up. Don't forget, if you want to get in contact with me, email me darkartslockpicking@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you. And until next time, cheers guys.